All right, next up is Marveri. This is Connor. Connor is building this awesome AI toolkit for corporate and transactional attorneys, and already in the process of signing up on their next deal for their platform. So, Connor, I cannot do you guys enough justice. I'm going to let you jump in and fill the gaps of what I just said, and break into this demo.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Let me share my screen. 1 second. Awesome. Great. So as Matt mentioned, my name is Connor. I'm co-founder and CEO of Marveri, and we build AI tools for corporate and transactional attorneys. We're backed by some amazing investors like Bessemer and the global head of M&A at the largest M&A law firm in the world. We have an outstanding team based here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now, despite the AI toolkits that we're building, we don't build any chatbots. There's no prompting involved. Rather, we just help transactional and corporate lawyers understand and synthesize sets of legal documents quickly and easily. So let me show you how that works. As you can see here, we have a standard set of documents that you might receive from a new or existing client, or perhaps part of a venture financing or M&A transaction for diligence. As you can start to review these documents, you can see they're all pretty standard. Things like license agreements, distribution agreements, corporate documents, certificates of incorporation. But from this set, as I'm sure many of you have received before, it's pretty messy. You don't know what's here or what's not. And instead of trying to dig through this mess one by one, we're just going to use Marveri. So select every document. All you need to do is throw them into the platform, click Create Project, and that's it. Marveri does the rest. So what Marveri does is we encrypt and OCR every document. Then we throw about half a dozen different AI models at each one of these documents to understand them, literally reviewing them in thousands of ways. So this process takes just a couple minutes. So I uploaded the same document set right before the demo, which is here. So before I start reviewing these documents, I'm going to get Marveri to just clean up this entire data room quickly and easily. All I need to do is select every document, click Marveri name, and you see in just a matter of seconds, Marveri will rename every one of these documents in a standard and beautiful naming convention with the document's effective date, the company's name, the type of document, and the counterparty that's involved. Now, because we also understand how all these documents relate to one another, we can just select all documents and click Organize, and Marveri is going to take each one of these documents and put them into their relevant folders. Now, we have a really clean document set that we can get started reviewing ourselves, or we can download this and send it off to other attorneys to review, or send this right back to our client. And clients obviously love sending their documents in, and just a few minutes later, it's beautifully cleaned up like this. Now, the next AI tool that I want to show you is our group redlining tool. So say you have a client and they have 20 employees, and they each have their own offer letters and IP assignment agreements. You want to confirm that each one of those IP assignment agreements is on the same form, that there's no material deviations between them, that none were separately negotiated, and that there are no carve-outs or exclusions. Now, normally, you'd have to review each one of those documents manually, one by one, in order to figure out if they're all the same. But with Marveri's group redlining tool, we can do that whole process in just a couple minutes. So in this document set, this company, Certus, it looks like they have 7 different safes that they raise their investments on. So I'm just going to select all the safes and click our redline tool. Now, this redline is going to immediately compare all of these documents together so that you can review them as once. Now, as you can see here, though, this red line is pretty messy, right? You're not actually able to review this, right? Because as you will see, these documents are actually on different forms. The company raised their safes on some pre-money safes and post-money safes. But instead of needing to dig through this and understand, how all of these documents are related to each other, you can just hit clusters. And Marveri's proprietary AI algorithm is going to immediately cluster these documents into their relevant forms. Here you can see that the company has 2 sets of safes. Now we can redline this cluster individually, and immediately get a really clean red line of this set of documents to confirm, yes, they're all on the same form and there's no separate negotiation. These are all the pre-money safes as expected. Now I can redline the second cluster of what turns out to be the post-money safes that the company raised on. And again, we can immediately see the terms that were raised by different documents. And we can also confirm that these are all on the same form, except it looks like one investor, the Hotshot VC safe, deleted a pretty important term that's going to change how this safe converts in the event of a financing. So now, in just a matter of a few minutes, we've already reviewed all these documents and found a pretty important deviation that we probably would have missed otherwise. Now, going along to our next tool, we have our missing and linking documents tool. So Marveri understands not only how documents, not only the contents of each document, but also how these documents relate to each other. So let's open up the first document here, which is a board consent. Now, as you can see here, this board consent approves a variety of different things. First is the action by written consent of the sole incorporator. Now, this is supposed to be attached as an exhibit to this document, but you can see that the exhibit is missing. Now, Marveri's proprietary AI agent goes in through the rest of the document set to see if it can find this action by sole incorporator. When it can't, it will flag this as a missing document. Now let's keep going through the rest of the board consent, and we can see that the board consent also approves the sale and issuance of common stock to each of the founders. Now, Marveri's system understands that each of these three people needs to separately enter into a restricted stock purchase agreement to actually purchase the shares that they've been granted. On the right-hand side, we can see these documents here, and we can immediately open them to then tie out that the restricted stock purchase agreements actually match the shares and terms that they were granted in the board consent. Again, here we can see that it looks like Shelby Mishra doesn't have an agreement, and we mark it as missing. Now, Marveri compiles all of these missing documents into our missing documents page, and you can immediately verify that each of these missing documents are correct and tie it out to the source document here. Then once you're done review, you can export this to Excel and follow up with a client or counterparty in literally just a few minutes after receiving the initial set of documents to make sure you have all the documents that you need for a review. Now, the final tool that I want to show is our contracts clauses tool. Now, whether you're advising a client in day-to-day matters, or if you're doing due diligence on a transaction or preparing disclosure schedules, you'll want to know the material terms of contracts, like when they expire, or if they have certain provisions like change of control or other provisions. With our contracts clauses page, we automatically do this for every document, and you can find really quickly information like when a contract expires and immediately tie it out to the underlying document. You can click on this for any document and immediately understand if they have important provisions that might impact a transaction, like a change of control clause, for example. So that's Marveri. We have a lot of other tools that we didn't get the chance to show today, but we're both SOC 2 Type 1 and Type 2 compliant. We don't train on any data, and we love working with HeyCounsel attorneys. So thank you for listening, and excited to answer any questions.
This is very cool. This is really cool. Everyone's product is really cool. I really like this as well. It's a little different, and it's a little top of mind because I'm on a mom and pop style deal, and this seems really cool. For everyone here, we've got a couple minutes. If they have any questions, please ask those questions in the Q&A box. I see some questions on the chat. Just do me a solid and put it over there. There's a lot of people talking. There are a lot of plays. While we wait for any sort of questions, Connor, do you have had any parting words? Anything that people, I guess, you want to convey to your audience here about the product?
We love working with attorneys at a variety of different levels, from small law firms to working with some very big venture funds to people at medium-sized firms, using this on both buy side, sell side, and also just day-to-day client transactions. And we love to hear feedback for upcoming features, and we're constantly pushing out new ones.
Got it. I like this question. But I think it's fair. Why would a firm migrate maybe from Kira to Marveri?
Definitely. So as you can see in our contracts clauses page, we already do a lot of the functionalities that Akira might do. But it's, first of all, much more accurate. So we've actually tested the contracts clauses tool against external benchmarks, and our tool has gotten over 96% accurate. Now, this accuracy level is actually higher than the human reviewers that reviewed those exact set of documents. And those humans were obviously trained expert attorneys. Now, in addition, right, Kira also doesn't have other functionalities like being able to, organize and clean up a data room, be able to rename documents. Also, Kira isn't able to do things like group redlining and things like that. The main reason is just Kira is based on kind of traditional machine learning technology, and we're building this from the ground up with this new suite of AI tools.
Very cool. I think we are just out of time. The poll is still live. Connor, I want to say thank you so much. It was a very cool tool. Again, you may hear from me. Maybe you've already heard from me. Who knows? But I appreciate the time you put into this and showing off this really cool startup. Thanks again.
Thanks so much.